Gender discrimination is present in all areas of physical activity. The media tends to marginalize women's sports. It presents it in a different way than it presents men's sports. This enforces gender stereotypes. Men's sports are usually characterized as dominant, full of power and physical strength, portraying them as superior to women's sports. The value placed on women's sports tends to be lower. This means women are not given the same opportunities as men and cannot achieve the same leadership positions. This leads to unequal wages, resources, and prizes. The contributions of women in sports can help women achieve leadership positions, such as and can help
most likely it's for tournaments like the men's varsity A basketball tournament. Last year we sent 2 or 3 fan buses down to watch that. We would send a fan bus to a girls tournament game for girls basketball, but they did not make it last year. We really want to try and get as many kids to go and support our teams, whether they're men or women, but it really will come down to the interest in the kids and the faculty that are going to drive it. The equipment is on a rotating cycle, so depending on when we have purchased equipment, we will put it in rotation. So the only team right now, or the only reason why a team would get new equipment, or I should say new uniforms, would be if a parent donates a set of uniforms. I would say that right now it's really come down to the parents who have donated money have been more towards the men's sports. We have not had any female parents donate uniforms for the females team, so I would say probably, yeah, in the recent history we've had more donations towards men's sports. To go watch our kids play, really in the sport of basketball, it really depends on how many players that you have as a school. If New Hampton didn't have any real good men basketball players, we wouldn't have any scouts in the gym, but with our program having close to 10 Division I players, that attracts a lot of schools to come and watch our teams play. Our girls program has some good players and they're getting more and more coaches to come watch, but we're just not at that same level. The men's varsity A program has more talented players in their field, and thus that brings so many more coaches to our gyms to watch them play. The girls are getting better and the talent level is getting higher.
Every day was a struggle.
So I used to play on a boys team, and going out to tournaments and stuff, boys always used to be like, oh, she's a girl, like we're gonna go after her, or we're gonna go easy on her just because she's a girl, and like I'm sure she can say the same. Like boys definitely treated us differently because we were girls out there, not because of like we weren't good enough to play.
I've had a few times and guys judge me. I walk into a gym or go to like my park near my house, and guys think that they couldn't play me when I would want to play a pickup game with them, and they would not pass the ball to me, they wouldn't let me score or do anything. And then once I got it and I shot it and I made it, they realized that a girl is just as good as a guy, sometimes even better.
So in lacrosse, boys and girls are really different, like there's different sticks and stuff, so I never really was doubted because I always played with just girls.
players are scouted for like to go play juniors or to go play in the NHL, and then girls hockey is more of D1 scholarships or national teams or Olympic teams. So it's different.
So
Men's sports are recruited much more than women's sports, therefore we get much less chances to show ourselves and get recruited.
Like guys get so many more opportunities and chances to show their skills as girls do. Like here at New Hampton, when you see the guys scrimmages, there's so many more coaches than at our scrimmages.
Great example.
Thank you. I'm gonna be the first one in the NBA.
But talking about like being seen and like hitting like coaches and like really important people, I feel like the boys definitely have an advantage, and there's a lot more like write-ups and focus on the boys.
I think that women, for example, the WNBA compared to the NBA, women should be getting paid the same amount as men in the NBA.
More fans. I mean, I think
definitely more fans and just like more attention. A lot of the men's games can be like broadcasted on TV, and the girls don't hardly get any. So like that would help too. Just basically more exposure.
I mean, I think that we get a lot of support and we get a lot of attention as girls hockey. But then when you go and look at the men's side, it's 10 times more.
Yeah, definitely. Like when you go to college games, some colleges have like different arenas just for girls because they don't fill as many seats, and which sucks because college hockey for girls is actually really good. So, and people just don't even like care to go even watch a game. They just assume that it's not very good.
Change the amount of rules and like the calls that some of the refs make in the girls' game, because the boys' game it seems like it's a lot faster and not as many whistles, as where girls is constantly stopping and going, and that's kind of annoying.
I kind of laugh at this statement just because I know, like, according to myself, like, we can handle it, but definitely starting at a young age and kind of progressing through the program, it's gender neutral. Like, girls can handle it and girls can play just as great as guys can.
Yeah. When boys would tell me, or people would tell me, oh, it's like a boys' sport, I'd just be like, okay, well, I can play it just as well as you can on the ice, so, like, I never really I wasn't offended by it because I knew, like, that I could hang, and I know a lot of girls can hang, so, when people say that, they're just being stupid because they know girls can play just as well as boys can, so.
When people say that basketball is a men's sport, this is what I say. We have a right to be playing sports, not being in the kitchen cooking up curry.
I say shut up!
I believe that there's not a difference between a women's skill set and a man's skill set.
The difference between girls and guys lacrosse players, I think, mostly is in strength and speed. I think girls lacrosse players have more finesse, but guys lacrosse players have a lot more strength and bulk and speed.
That doesn't fair because even that we play the same sport, we play in different ways, we should have the same opportunities.
I believe it's wrong because I believe that every man and woman should have the same rights.
So I think it's unfair that there are less opportunities for female athletes than there are for male athletes.
The fact that female athletes are discriminated against because of their gender, I think is pretty unfair.
If I could change anything in regard to cross country, it would be that one team would have the same ratio between guys and girls.
One thing that could change possibly is having maybe a women's NHL, just like they have the WNBA. You can maybe have the WNHL. That could be a possibility. One downside is I don't know how many people would go for that or how much money those professionals will make.
I will change the length of the time of the boys' games. I will make them shorter to have the same time as girls.
There should be the same number of scholarship opportunities for female athletes and for male athletes in basketball.
If I could change anything about how girls lacrosse players are seen, I would probably change the speed of the game, because I think the guys' game is a lot faster and that makes it more enjoyable to watch, whereas the girls' game is a little bit slower. So adding a shot clock to the girls' game would probably make it a lot more fun to watch, and that would probably get a lot more attention into the girls' lacrosse as a sport.
Je crois.
I believe.
I believe.
Je crois. I believe.
Qu'il devrait y avoir.
There should be.
There should be.
There should be gender equality in sports.
Gender equality.
In sports.
Gender equality in sports.
Equal opportunity.
Mismas oportunidades, mismo juego.
Equal play.
Equal play.